It was spring of 2016. We had just purchased a property in like February and completely remodeled it by May, and we were moving into there. And as we moved in, we already knew we were out of space. And we were trying to find something that already existed, and we were just gonna renovate it and try to get it to work for us. So Jesse Hull of Keller caught wind of it and walked in the front door. And the minute I met Jesse, it was like one of those, it's like you always knew the guy. So when he came up and said, I could just build you a building and actually build what you want, it was pretty much a no-brainer. It was amazing because of the entire process. Jesse and Keller, they're a design build. They literally take it from when he walks in that door and you don't even have an idea, to helping you put it on paper, putting the renderings in front of you, to helping you understand what you can afford, understand what materials and stuff you'd have to use to get to your dream. And Tony, the architect, and everybody sits down with you, and they literally walk room by room by room and help you put that on paper, what's all up in here. And the whole time it moved extremely fast, but I never felt pressured, and it never felt like it was moving too fast.
Being in a residential building for quite a few years, I understand the quality that you want to look for in a builder and the quality that they put into the project. And I had a good feeling right away, first time I met with them. I think Sean did as well. And from there, we just kind of knew that was the route we wanted to go, rather than finding an old building and retrofitting it.
So we went and talked to some of the other folks in town that had recently built shops, and one of them said something that just stuck with me. One of the messages he sent to me was, if I could do it all over again, I would have went with Keller, because there's no way I saved any money. With all the stress, all of the issues, and all the problems we have, it probably would have been cheaper to actually go with Keller from the start. That really stuck with me. So when Jesse walked through the door, we never even checked with their competitors. And then Jesse went to work. Not only did they find us a property, they found us a property in the city that was actually a tax incentive property, which saved us an absolute fortune. We practically got the land, for free by the time we were done. It was such a minimal amount. And then they built the building at our exact budget. They were able to hit it, even though we came in with a really aggressive plan for what we wanted to accomplish for the money that we had, and they were able to hit that, which blew our minds. One of the biggest things for me is Custom Offsets is a company that's growing about 250% year over year, and it's just constantly expanding. We're constantly hiring people, we're constantly growing sales. I could not be tied up in building a building. I needed to be able to do my job, do my day job, grow my business, and I needed somebody that could build us our building. I needed to trust somebody that would just take this dream that I have, this vision, help me put it on paper, and then they go build it and I get to move into it.
When you're building, it's so difficult to get a grasp on how is this gonna look, and Jesse really ran with everything and made all the important decisions. Jesse's just really down-to-earth dude. He seemed like he was part of the team with Sean and I, and to see it progress and how fast it progressed. Came back after vacation and like pretty much was already done already, I was like, wow, that happened like really fast. And to see everything in person, you can't even describe it. It was just awestruck, and just walking in and being like, wow, and then just see this ultimately amazing finished building. Really, really neat experience.
And the team that was here was awesome. Warren was the foreman on site, and he, always greet you with a smile, always kind of talk to you, tell you what's going on. And you could talk to anybody, any one of their general contractors at any time. They would actually approach you when you come to the building and just kind of give you an update and kind of take you around and show you what's all changed from the day before. So for what I was looking for, to not be actually involved in decisions around construction and building and, footings and concrete and walls and structural and steel, I didn't want anything to do with any of that. I didn't have any involvement in that, and they totally took that off my plate, which was humongous for us, so we could focus on our business. There was almost no stress related to the pricing and the choices and what you're gonna do. Even as we went through the process, if I wanted to add something, they would always tell me what it's gonna cost to add it. There's not been a single surprise on the financial side, which is a huge pet peeve of mine when you get a bill and you didn't see it coming. But for the most part, the whole thing was transparent all the way through. We always knew what was gonna happen and what the cost was gonna be to make that decision. And with their warranties and with the different things that they have in place for the building, I know that they've got my best interests in mind, and that they're gonna protect me from anything that could happen with warranty or with structure, with anything like that. So the message was real clear that everybody really, really, really cares. I mean, every person on the Keller team is a part owner of that business, and they act that way. That was a big deal to me, because you could tell that they weren't employees. You could tell that they weren't just doing their job or punching a clock. Everybody, honest to God, cared about the project. When I first met Jesse, I mentioned that it felt like it was somebody I already knew. It stayed that way the entire time. And then along the process, whether it be a text message, a phone call, an email, no matter how I contact him, no matter what time I contact him, he was always there. I asked one time, am I the only project that you're doing? I was surprised to hear that he had 8 others, because the entire time I felt like our project was the only thing he did all day. It was fun because he took ownership in this building. A lot of times it felt like Jesse was going to be moving in with us once we got the keys to the building. This is basically our $2 million house, and there's 32 of us that now live here. We're here more than we're in our own homes, of course. That was the thing, Keller and Jesse basically gave us this $2 million home, and they treated it exactly like that's what it was. And that was the part that hit right there.